Drafting worldwide. Welcome back to the garage project. In last video I went through and showed you how to make this building section, what things should be on that. In this video I'm going to go through the process of adding a floor up here, and what we're going to do, we could do a lot of different things. We could have a complete second floor. We could also have this as basically an attic space or a bonus room, and that's the way that we're going to look at this one. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to add another level here. So I'm just going to go to my view and I'm going to click on the level button, which just disappeared. Let's go to architecture, level, and I'm just going to add one kind of randomly right here, and it's going to default as level 7, and then I could clean this up as needed. I want this to be 2D, so I'm going to click on 2D, and I'll stretch this one out there to match that, and basically just do something like that to clean it up. And what I want to do is I want to make the bottom chord of this truss is going to end up being 10 inches thick. So we're going to use 2x10s, which are 9 1/4 plus 3/4 inch plywood. So that's going to end up being 10 inches. So rather than do the math there, I can also do this, or I just throw a dimension line on between those two. Click on this one and click on the text, say 10 inches. So now, and I just delete that, now I know that my level 7 here is 9 foot 6.5, and I could rename this to attic maybe, or maybe this is called bonus room. Capitalize all those. Bonus room. Maybe make this abbreviated. Alright, so now I have the bonus room up here, and my floor, I'm going to basically go to my bonus room in these views. Right here. Now in my project browser I have another level called bonus room. I'm going to turn my roof off temporarily, and all I have to do that is click on it, come down here, and these glasses, I can click that and I can say hide element, and now the problem is I can't see all of my walls. And if I look at my elevation again, or my section again, I have all kinds of sections in here. If I look at this again, basically what I want to be doing to see these walls, I either have to turn my underlay on, or I need to have the view range go down past, in a negative view, down to here. So I'm going to start out by trying to just use my underlay with that. So I'll go back to this view, bonus room, scroll through these things, and I find underlay, and I'm going to turn first floor on as my underlay. Alright, now I can go through. First of all, I have to figure out what I'm actually looking at there. Looks like these lines represent the walls, and these lines represent the footing. So let's change that to roof. Didn't really do anything. Alright, so I'm going to try to make a floor, and then I'll just adjust it as needed. So I'm going to go back to architecture. I'm going to create a floor, and instead of concrete slab, I'm going to choose a 10-inch wood joist, and then I'm going to just edit that. I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to call this attic floor. I'm going to click on edit the structure. I'm going to delete the oak flooring there, don't need that, and then we're going to leave everything else there. I say okay, okay, and then I'm going to basically draw a rectangle. So I click on this rectangle in my sketch tools. I'm going to try drawing a rectangle from there to there, and I think I'm going to need to change that, but I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go look at my section to see what that looks like. And that basically needs to come all the way out to here, out to this line. So if I bump this up to 1.5 inches, turned on more detail, basically it needs to come out to this line right here. So the next thing that has to happen is this roof no longer lives on the roof layer. It's going to live on the elevation bonus room, and that's going to take it up to there. Okay, so there's bonus room. Alright, so once I bumped this, changed this so that it is sitting on bonus room, ran into a couple different problems. The first problem is this truss right here should be sitting at this point right here. It shouldn't be coming out and sitting at this end. This would be bearing weight on our siding and our OSB. We want this to be sitting on top of our joist. So the only way that I can figure out how to trick this, it's a workaround for our roof, is to do this. If we measure, and I'll try to use my measure tool, if I measure the distance from there to there, it's 15/16 of an inch. Let me try to annotate it. Try from there. See if it'll give me a dot. Doesn't give me a dot. So we're going to have to roll with the 15/16 of an inch. So I'm going to click on my roof again, and over here I have the ability to base offset from the level. I'm going to make that minus 15/16 inches. See if this works, 15/16, and it basically brought it down so that it is at that corner right there. So that's a more clear representation of what's going on. And then the next problem that we have is this floor right here. Whenever I select this, isn't in the right location. So I would have to change that as well. And this line right here is the line that we put on there, so I'll go ahead and delete that. So this floor does end up being in the right location once I delete that line, and it's basically going to sit on top of that wall, and we might show that detail later on in another view. So let me bump this back to the scale that we had it at, 1/8. See what we have to work with here. Alright, so then the next problem is my roof's being cut off, so that is a product of my view range, I do believe. So I'll give that a shot, see if I can change that. Scrolling over here, trying to find view range. And can't seem to find that. So let's try the far offset clip. Let's change this to 5. Nope, didn't do anything. Let's try no clip. Nope, not doing anything. So let's see if we can find our view range in here. Alright, overthinking it. Crop region visible, click that, click it here, bring it up there. So now it's showing. Then turn that back off. Alright, so the whole point of this was to be able to show this floor in here. And we have the problem that it is not extended out to on top of the wall. So let's go ahead and edit that. We're going to change it to this bonus room view. And what we're going to do is I'm going to change the scale of this. I'm going to bring this out to there, which is the outside face of my stud. Bring it out to there. And I'm going to bring this out to there. And finally to there. Alright, I say green check mark. Come back in, take a look at my section, and now you can see it's going the whole way out to there. So really this roof would be sitting on this floor rather than this wall. So I could do this to make it a little bit more accurate. I click on all my walls, hover tab, selects that wall. Let's go to a 3D view. Hover tab, and then I'd have to have, then I run into that issue. So we're just going to take care of that in our detail view. So one more time, let's go back to that section. Clean that up in my detail view. If I really wanted to get rid of these lines, I can come in here and do a masking region. And again, that is on my annotate. Let's close out of that. On annotate, I can do a masking region and basically do a rectangle. And click OK, and the only thing I have to do, I edit that boundary, I select these masking lines, and I make those invisible. It's a lot of work just to make it look right. So do that one more time. I come over here and on annotate, masking region, draw a rectangle using invisible lines, hide that little rectangle, and it disappears in that view. So at this point, this building section would be getting closer and closer to being complete. Our floor's in place. Now, if I had a set of stairs going from the first floor to the building section, I'll just throw those in real quick. And since we haven't done anything with stairs yet, I might as well just include that in the video. I'm just going to go to architecture. I'm going to click on stairs, and I'm going to look at this assembled stair, and I'm basically going to edit that. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to say 7 3/4 max riser and 11-inch tread. I'll say OK, and then the max riser height becomes 7.75 inches. We leave everything else the same. I say OK, and if I were to do a straight run of stairs, I can just start by clicking there and do that set of stairs. and I say OK. And then what I can do is I can pick this up and I can move it. So I can move it over to here, and then it would be right in front of your window, so I might move it back here. And the thing that you really have to pay attention to is this. I'm going to do another section that cuts through the set of stairs. So one of the big reasons that we add sections is so that we can actually see how the set of stairs works. So now I can look at that and I can see that I'd be walking up these. I'm going to bump my head on that. So what we can do with this set of stairs is we have to cut an opening in this floor. And what I really want to do is I want to have 6'8" of headroom. So I want that from there to there. At that point I have 7'5". At that point I have 6'10". So that's the most I'm going to be able to have for an opening. So my opening will end up being right here at the edge of this. So what I can do at this point to be able to find that in plan view is I come back into my architecture and I'm going to make a reference plane, and I'm going to draw it from that endpoint up through there. And then whenever I switch back to my bonus room, or to my, my bonus room, no, my first floor plan. Well, I guess it is my bonus plan. So on my bonus plan, I can edit this floor, and I have to hover and tab through to pick my floor. I'll tell you what, we'll do this. We'll click on this section, I'll select the floor and edit, and then I'll do that in my bonus room. Now I know that I have to cut a hole in this floor like that. So I draw another rectangle in there, and I say OK, and now I have a hole in the floor right there, and whenever I look at my section this time, you can see where the hole is in the floor. And it didn't line up with this thing, so I'm going to have to go back and edit that again. Edit the boundary, go to my bonus room, and it was back here, not this. So I take that back to there, I hit the check mark, double click on that, and now you can see where the opening is. So I have an opening in the floor right there. What I can do, this right now, this building section is showing all this roof being cut right there. So I can once again go into this section, and I can have this just look through part of the building like that instead of looking the whole way past it, and show that in the background. So the problem ends up being whenever I go back to my section view, this section, what I can clearly see that I wasn't picking up on in the other view is that whenever I walk up this set of stairs, I'm going to bang my head on the roof right there. So these stairs literally need to be out in this area somewhere so that I don't hit my head. So now I'm right in the middle of my garage bay, which makes even more of a problem. So what I could try to do is rotate these like this. Maybe I put them over here. Maybe I move this section over there so I can see what this looks like. Double click that. And I have to change the hole in my floor once again. So this time I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit my floor. Edit boundary, bonus room. I'm going to get rid of this hole. And I'm going to make a hole somewhere in here. I'm going to take a wild and crazy guess that it's 2 steps back. To there. Hit the check mark. Double click this section. Go to annotate. Throw in a dimension. From here to there, and I have my 6'10". And that is an extremely important dimension to show, and basically this continues to get higher and higher as I walk up there, so I'm not going to bang my head. And in floor plan view, the problem with it is now I would have to jump over these railings to get to this, so I need a landing here. So I'm going to move this. So I'm going to click it, highlight the whole thing. I'm going to move it 3 feet this way. So I have a little landing here, and then I'm going to go back to my floor, and I have to adjust my opening again. Bonus room, and I'm going to move that back 3 feet. Say OK, double click this again, look at it. Looks good in this view. In first floor view, looks good, no problems. Put that back there for now. I can get rid of this section altogether. And now I have a set of stairs right here in this plan view. I can get rid of this reference line. I can double click on this, and I will just clean this up a little bit like this. And this has to actually go out and touch that. And that shows that I have at least 6'8" of headroom where the opening is. Pull this in a little bit, and now I can go out to my sheets, and I can look for a place to put this. I don't think it's going to fit on there. Not going to fit on the foundation. Definitely going to have to adjust this roof plan again to make sure it's correct. So I'm going to try to put it on here once just to see if it fits. So I'll go up here, drag my section there, and it looks like I can make that fit with a little bit of finagling things. Click on that, adjust this. Instead of it called section 6, we'll come over here, right click, rename. Let's call that building section. Click that, drag that out underneath there, and it is the second drawing on sheet A103. They can very quickly look at this, see how the stairs play out, what the ceiling height is, what the roof slope is, and what the overall height of the building is.